Now we're coming back here, just got back a little bit ago, getting some steel. We're lucky to have a supplier about an hour away from us. That makes it easy. So we're gonna start working with a little bit of this and see what we can cobble together. Here's a few of the basics, just that you need for welding. This will start getting you going anyway. Not much really needed, just a standard chop saw. We have an angle grinder, 4-inch. Cheap models are fine. I'd rather have two cheap ones than a real expensive one anyway. They get kind of beat up. I never saw the financial benefit of buying a really good angle grinder, but choice is yours. I try not to spend a lot of money on equipment unless I have to. The welder is nothing fancy at all. Northern tool. I got this good 6 years ago. It's been solid, reliable. I didn't pay that much for it. It was a display model, so I got this one for I think 20 bucks less. But anyway, one thing of note, just how basically the whole welding idea works, is you're gonna have on the welder, you're gonna have this grounding cable coming around with the clamp that grounds onto your piece of metal, or clamps on your piece of metal, and then your other tip here. Inside of that other cable, there's actually a wire. I'll zoom in on that. See the wire coming out of the nozzle? That's what's welding. That's what you're adding to. That's your welding stick if you've stick weld before. But basically, that's just the gist of. Oh, alrighty, that's just the gist of it. All you're doing is adding material, or really melting and adding material. And then one thing of note. Inside of that loop between the grounding cable and your handled cable there with the welding wire in it, try to not be in that when you're welding. Just it's an electromagnetics thing. It's not the healthiest for you if you care about such things. I always try to avoid being inside of that loop. But just a basic health thing. It ain't gonna kill you, but it's not necessarily good for you. Anyway, we'll start working on some projects here and grinding up some metal. Alright, here we're going to make a cut here on this 1/4 inch thick square tubing. It's 2 inch by 3 inch. We're making an adapter for putting our Brindley plow on a 3-point on the 316. I'm getting a lot of people interested in these little Brindley plows and getting rid of tillers, so I'm helping them out with that. Anyway, let's make a cut here. Standing back a little bit. At this point I have eye protection and ear protection on. So let's zoom in on this, what's actually going to be happening here. Alright, I just wanted to point it at the end there. I just grind off the burrs on the edge a little bit just to help keep from cutting yourself. And there we go. Alright, I've done a little bit of welding right here. I decided I'm not going to actually try to record the welder. I don't know what kind of filter it takes, or if you're going to blow up the sensor on the camera, so decided to not do that. But basically what we've got going is I've welded the ends on. Now on the other side of those plates, I've welded the nut to the plate for the pin. So you bend a pin, as long as you don't break it off flush, you'll be able to back it out and put another pin in. So that's generally worked for me well in the past. And what you might notice on here is because my welder is only designed to go up to 1/8 inch, this is all 1/4 inch thick steel. I fully weld all the way around it just to make sure that I get it as strong as I can when I'm actually making the weaving to make the bead. I'm going a little further than you may normally would. Instead of a nice tight little bead in the corner, I'm kind of widening it out just to grab as much metal as I can. Generally has worked out for me. I haven't had welds break on 1/4 inch thick stuff, at least for what the 316 is able to do, and I've beaten on them pretty good, so it works okay. I'm not saying it works for everyone, but that's what I do. It's easier than breaking out the stick. I don't like messing around with the stick welder. It's a pain in the butt to get set up. I don't have many options for 220 outside, so this just works better. But well, as you may have heard my wife calling for me, power just went out. So let's switch gears here. We're obviously done welding for now. I'm gonna get our camper up and going here. That's kind of our when the power goes out. We can easily cook in that because we have all electric appliances. And if it's out for more than a little bit here, I get to get the generators out and going, keep the fridge cold and all that, so always exciting. Alright, power came back on after a few hours. Get back to work here. Alright, pretty much finished up here, this little adapter here. I'm just going to start grinding on it to smooth out some of the corners of the metal. Less cuts and scrapes down the road so far. But this is all made on my little wire feed. See if I can zoom in on the welds here. Nothing wrong with that. That's 1/4 inch thick steel. One pass. So they'll do more than they really advertise as long as you know what you're doing. I make big C's when I'm putting the bead down. So you're just going back and forth and basically overlaying C's on top of each other. And build a nice weld pool, and it does alright. Anyway, I'm going to keep on grinding here and then check back with you in a little bit. Okay, I got this all finished welding up. Got it installed on the 3/16 3-point. This is a Cat 0 adapter for the Brindley palm, making this for a family member of mine that was wanting one. Anyway, we're going to try something a little different on this. I don't know if it's going to work. Instead of the plow being hooked up to the middle, this is actually going to have it hooked up on the right side. The idea being is hopefully we can adjust it and make it work to where the tractor doesn't have to drop down in the furrow. Don't know if it'll work, but we're going to give it a shot, so we're going to experiment. Anyway, so that's what we're doing here. And, but yeah, just got to drill a hole to attach the that adapter there. Get it on there, and we'll see what happens. Just wanted to show you the value of good sharp bits. If you don't have a bit doctor, go ahead and get yourself one. It's worth every penny. But all these bits here have been sharpened, so none of this is original. 3/8. Five-eighths. There you go.